Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. Your man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube, folks. God, I can't believe it. We're almost a day away from the weekend. You just got to get through Friday and then it's the weekend. I mean, for those people, I know you're looking forward to it. I mean, sometimes I miss this. I have one of my jobs only work 4 days out of the week. It was 10 hours. But when we had Fridays, I was just enjoying it. So, folks, we have here a lovely lady here who just competed about a month ago at the Arizona Pro, which Arizona Pro is part of the Rising Phoenix, and she made her physique debut. And we'll talk to her. We have here the lovely Mrs. Chelsea Rodgers. She's
Hi.
also a coach and trainer, and also she's a dental hygienist. Yeah, so I want to ask her. So we appreciate the time she's given us, and we hope our best luck for her in her upcoming season. So, ma'am, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming by. And I want this question to ask you, ladies: what got you started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
Okay. Well, that was a good intro. Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
What got me interested in or started in bodybuilding? Well, I've always been in the gym because I played college basketball. I played basketball my whole life. And actually, a lot of people would approach me and say, you should do bodybuilding. You have great shoulders. And I was like, I don't want to eat like that. I was actually married, and the man I was married to really wanted to do a show. So I said, okay, cool, I'll do it with you. And then it stuck. He didn't continue with it. He actually didn't even make it to the night show because he got sick, but I just kept going. Yeah, and then like I've always trained, but there was a period of my like I started in 2014 training for bodybuilding, and then took a little bit of like a break on competing for a couple years, and then got divorced. And I was like, you know what? That made me feel really good. I'm gonna go back in there and get my confidence back up. And so I just kind of kept rolling with it. And once you get in it, it's the most amazing community. If like you get with the right people, you keep the positive people around you, it really is a good community, and everybody loves each other and cares for each other. And it's like a giant friendship in the community. Like it's
Mhm.
awesome. So I think that's what keeps people in it realistically. But that's what got me in it is my ex-husband wanted to do a show, and I said, okay, let's try it.
Well, well, sometimes a lot of people get into sport because either dealing with this issue, that issue, or like yourself being an athlete, you just kept yourself going. And I know I talked to ladies before that sometimes situations like a divorce really motivates you because you want to make some changes, in your life.
Mhm.
And like I said, this sport is really, even though it's a small sport, I would say a small community, it's really has branched out over the years. So many people you met and competed with. So, what was it like that first time when you got on stage?
Oh, it was so exciting. It was so fun. I always tell like the new competitors who come to me too, just get on stage and enjoy the first experience. I mean, the lights are so bright you can't even see the audience. So at that point, it's just you and the judges and the other people on stage. Of course, it was nerve-wracking, but probably one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. Just like being out there, just doing it. Like by the time you cut all the weight and done all the work, that's the fun part. It's just being on stage. I mean,
Mhm.
you're eating rice cakes like crazy. So at that point, it's like, oh, I finally get to eat food. So it was so fun. I can't explain it in words other than like exhilarating. Like I
Mhm.
think that's
Yeah.
probably the best way to say it. The first time you step on stage, it's so exciting.
Now, compared it to when you were playing basketball and to competing, is there like a big difference as you are? Because you're
Oh
on
yeah, there's a
so
huge
you,
difference.
yeah.
There's
Because
a
I think
lot
with
of
basketball,
pageantry, like I feel like in competing. With basketball, it's more of a team sport. You know what I mean? Like you have everybody working together doing for a mutual goal, right? And bodybuilding is more individual. Like you're gonna have the individuality about it. You're gonna have like, you want to beat this person, or you want to beat your last look, or like I could have come in this way. It's not necessarily like a team thing. Yes, you have people that surround you in the community who are part of like your support system, your village, which you need a village. Um, but it's basketball is definitely a team sport. You rely on your teammates, and I mean, maybe Michael Jordan and Kobe wouldn't say that, but
Well,
Her dick.
well, you got to think about it. They wouldn't. It wasn't for guys like Shaquille O'Neal or Scottie Pippen. They wouldn't have gotten their records. I mean, they did have part of it in their success.
Yeah.
And like I said, I understand that because I played football when I was younger. I mean, it's a tough sport. You really have your team. You stand by each other. You support each other. It's almost like having a family. Right here, we have a man here, KL the Wanderer, coming through. He says, shout out to KL, says, hey, good evening. Thank you, brother. Also, he says this. He says, what position you used to play if you were in a team for basketball? So what was your position?
So I was a shooting guard. In college, I was a shooting guard because I'm only 5'8", but in high school they put me underneath the basket because I'm rough.
Mhm.
So
So
they
you
put
like
me as
you
a
throw
post in high school, and I just yep, yeah,
you throw
yeah,
the air
farm girl,
balls. So
just
anyway,
just knocking people over.
yeah. So you turned pro in 2022, and that was the North Americans. What's that feeling like?
Right.
All those years competing and working hard, finally get your pro card.
Yeah, that was honestly, I almost gave up, to be honest. I had gone to USA's 4 weeks before North Americans, and I got seventh, and that's the lowest I'd ever gotten, and it was hard. It was hard, and I did it all. It was my bad. I on stage I didn't pose correctly. So I actually was like, I got off stage and I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Like I'm not cut for it. Like I totally had a meltdown, which I feel like a lot of competitors do. But you need that little time to process. I need to get off stage and process a little bit. I need about an hour to like figure it out. And then I come back to reality. But yeah, I almost quit. And then my sponsor called me and said, if you go to North Americans, I'll pay for the entire trip, but you got to win. Okay. So actually, going into North Americans was the calmest I have ever been. And for whatever reason, it was I don't know if it was because I was like, you know what, I'm tired. I was like, because from USA's that 4 weeks, I hammered it. My coach and I had a plan, and we went to town, and I got super duper lean. I think that's the leanest I've ever been. Felt not great, but I was calm, and I just went backstage. And I think the best part about it is one of my like idols, Jessica Reyes Padilla. Like love her 100% because I started in figure, and she was backstage that day, and I walked up to her, totally fangirl, got a picture with her, told her how much I look up to her, and got my pro card. And she came up and said congratulations. And ever since then, every time I've seen her, she's remembered me and said hi. And so that's been a really cool experience. Like it's not like they're just people too, but that 1% of bodybuilders we all look up to. But it's amazing that day getting the pro card is probably one of the best experiences I think I've ever had in my life. It was really surreal. Because you go to all this work and all these years, like 10 years of, at that point it was 8 years of bodybuilding. And it's like, man, I did all of this and I'm finally here. And now what? Now you're at the bottom of the totem pole again. Like back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's tough, because I know some
Yeah.
ladies who have competed in the APC for long times, years and years and years, and then, they never get that pro card, or some finally get that pro card, and then get into the IFBB. You got to compete like
Yeah.
people like Jessica, and also Sid Gillen, and so many other women who are top level competitors. Now, Jessica just did the Arizona, where you were at the
Yeah.
Arizona month ago. Also, you saw
Yeah.
that Manon, who competed against us, they were like really close.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Manon is going to make her physique debut this weekend at the UK show.
I think that's a wise decision for her.
Yeah, yeah. The question is,
Yeah.
I'm wondering like this: if she wins, because I interviewed Barbara Majan. She's a impressive lady. I think Barbara might win the show. But if Manon wins it, you think she should use her figure qualification or use her physique qualification?
I don't know. I've never seen her in physique, but I've seen her in figure, and she stands out. I mean, she's pretty big. And I don't know if it's because she's tall, so she kind of like outsizes everyone. But definitely seeing her on stage, I was like, oh, she should move up. And that's what the judges told me too. I just like when I was in figure, my first 2 figure shows, the same head judge, Steve DeVore, he said, Chelsea, you just stand out. Like you're just so much bigger than these other figure girls. Like you just stand out. So maybe you should move up. And I'm glad I did. But I don't know. That's a tough call. That's between her and her coach and how she feels comfortable too, because learning the new posing can be kind of intimidating.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
comment here
So
from
I don't know.
we have JK Fit. I think she knows or they know you. He says you
Oh,
are the
that's one of
best,
my
Coach Chelsea.
competitors. That's Adam. Hey, Adam.
Hello, Adam.
Yeah,
And
he's awesome.
yeah, and
He's
what
gonna
division
go.
hmm? What
He'll
you
go
lost?
pro someday.
Oh, okay. What division he competes in?
Yeah.
Hmm.
We did classic and men's physique, but he's definitely a men's physique competitor. But yeah,
Yeah.
he'll go pro. We're gonna go for North Americans next year if I can get him to he needs to get his wife pregnant so he can come back to competing. Yeah. I
Yeah.
said, do it, get it done so we can get back on the stage. He
Get
actually his first NPC show, he freaking swept it. First, and then he went up for the overall, and I think he was probably like 1 or 2 points away from the overall. But that was his first show. So I have no problem with him. And he competed back in the day. He lived in India. And he competed back in the day. So over there, which is a big deal, and then coming here and yeah, he's great. Thanks for watching, Adam.
Yeah, appreciate you, Adam. Yeah, I think India's getting really blowing up. I've seen some videos of women coming from bodybuilding, physique coming from there, possibly. A lot of male competitors. I think bodybuilding in the last few years has really grown. As you know, if you heard or
Uh-huh.
saw that next year the Masters Olympia is going to be in Tokyo. So
Yeah. My
and
coach is
yeah.
already qualified, which is awesome.
Well, who's your coach?
Jason Theobald, Scooby Prep,
Huh.
Scooby
Okay.
Health. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already qualified. He won the Tampa Pro
And how long y'all been working together?
since 22. So I got my pro card, and the coach I was working with here locally in Idaho, we just had a falling out. Great person, loved him dearly. Just couldn't work out anymore. So I reached out to my trainer, who's Corey Linder, and I said, "Hey, I need a coach, and I need a good quality pro coach." And he's like, Chelsea, you're in your 40s. You should probably go with Jason Theobald. And so I sent Jason an email and said, I asked him all these questions and about the usual shit, like sorry, about the
That's
usual
all right.
stuff, like gear and all the other things. And he said, there's a reason my female athletes look like females. And I said, so that's who I'm going with. So he knows his shit. He owns a hormone clinic. He cares about his athletes. So I'll stay with him forever, probably. Even if I'm done competing, I'm gonna stay with him to like navigate menopause and all the other fun things that women get to go through.
See, that's the looking thing about being a man.
Yeah. You guys get hot at night. I think that's all you get. Like you get sweaty at night or something. Like the rest of the women we get screwed. I mean, I guess you guys do have other things. I heard a horrible thing on the radio this morning that I will not repeat, but I was like, "Oh, that's fun."
Well, like I said, it's part of life of man. It's our purpose in life is to, like Conan, like this, say like this: to crush your enemies, seem dinner for you, and commit the lamentation of the women. We are born to breed, build, and to die. That's it. Anything else is in between, especially with women. And let's talk about this: how people don't think women should have muscle because the idea of femininity is supposed to be soft and feminine. You're supposed to be, and I know some people be like saying like, I don't want to look like her because I know you do coaching. You do some of your clients are competitors and lifestyle clients.
Yep. Yeah, I do both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of I'm getting more and more competitors, which has been great because that's kind of my passion. I do really love helping people. The reason I got into coaching is because I have a lot of knowledge that I want to pass off and teach people to live sustainably. Like a lot of people go into these yo-yo diets and it's like it's as simple as eating healthy, moving, but there's other things that go along with it. But yeah, I have competitors, and I think it's the most fun because I know that I can't compete forever. Realistically, like joints give out. I'm 42. I have a knee that I need to have looked at, but I'm not ready for that yet.
I feel you. I feel you. I got two bad
Yeah.
knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's my right now. My right knee is nearly bone on bone.
Ooh,
Being I work so hard, concrete doesn't beat me, and also I'm a bit heavier.
no.
But I had dropped some pounds. But I'm thinking about getting surgery. I don't know. I've been cut on before. I have a pacemaker, and that's something fun. You wake up and after surgery, you feel like somebody shot a load in your chest. But we hear comments from your man. It's from your man Adam. He says, "Thanks both of you all. Believe me, brother, she is great, coach. My wife, I adore her." Thank you, man. Appreciation. Oh, he adores you. I adore me more. So
You know
and
what's
all,
funny is when he started to come to me, he tricked me. Well, he tested me, let's say. So he was trying to decide who to pick as a coach. And he said, "Oh, I want to do this show in like, I don't know, it was like 12 weeks or something. It's called the Idaho Cup, and it was when we started working together over a year ago. And he was like, I want to do this show. And I was like, I'm not the coach for you then. And he said, Why? I said, because I won't put you on stage like right away. Like you got to work with me. We got to see what's under there. You got to grow. Like I'm not going to just throw you on stage. You'll lose, and I'm not about that." And he was like, "All right, I want to work with you." And then he tells me like after he does really well in the season and competes and does good, that he's like, that was a test, right? And I was like, "Oh, okay, it was, yeah." So turd, but I guess I answered right.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. Sometimes you just want to see that. I just want to see where she's at. I just want to get her and just
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good that you have a good relationship here. Also, we got a comment from a man, Kiel. He asked like, how many poses does figure have? Again, it's just four because I think it's just
Yeah.
the
Well, and a model pose. So it's
starting
the
pose.
four quarter turns and then a model pose.
Yeah, and that's the
Uh,
thing is that
yeah.
division has really, instead again, has really evolved over the years. I mean, you're seeing women now moving from like one example. You were at Arizona, like someone like Ashley Jones, who was figure. Now she's physique and women's bodybuilding.
Mhm.
I know Jessica a few years ago did a dip in physique, but went back to figure. And even if you look at physique and women's bodybuilding, they're starting to change. It's like they're kind of when physique was brought in, it was supposed to be the alternative for women who got into bodybuilding. But now you're
Okay.
seeing women who are moving up from that division. And I don't know if this is me. I don't think they really sat down and set a criteria for both figure or physique or women's bodybuilding.
Yeah, I mean, with anything, sports going to evolve. I know at some point they were trying to like pull things back, which was unfortunate when they got rid of women's bodybuilding because all these women who have like done that for years were kind of left in the dust, which is BS. You know, the interesting thing is the more and more you're in bodybuilding and the more you continue to grow, your body's going to change. Like you can't just stay the same. Like, I mean, there's genetic people like Sid Gillian is going to be a figure queen forever. Like she's not going to grow out of figure because she's dialed in, right? The rest of us, we put more muscle on. Like I put more muscle on, I got to move up, right? That's how it is. I don't think Jessica will ever move up, but Ashley Jones, she's evolved. Like she started as figure. I met her a while back, and actually, when I met her, she was like, "Oh, you're a physique, right?" And I was like, "No, I'm figure." And she's like, "You should do physique." So I was like, "Wow, I've been hearing this for like over." I mean, I've been hearing this for like 8 years that I should do physique, and I finally just did it. I should have done it a long time ago because it was super fun, and I really enjoyed the posing better, and like it's the experience of being on stage and getting to do a routine like that was amazing. I was intimidated by it for a really long time. But yeah, I don't know. With any sport, things are going to evolve and people are going to grow. So unfortunately, like I think they need to dial it in a little bit more. But how do you do that? How do you tell people, okay, well then this is going to be figure now, and we're going to put you like in this criteria, and this is only physique, and this is only bodybuilding, when there's so many different judges and everything's subjective. Like how do you make it work with everybody's opinions and mindsets, and oh, I know that person or I don't know that person, and you know, it's subjective. We can't make each person's mind think the same way as like a piece of paper.
Yeah, and also everybody's genetics is different. Some people are genetically gifted. Some people have to work hard. I mean, there's so much to it, especially with women. Women, y'all supposed to have a cap, but the guys can get bigger and bigger. Just saw Big Rami's not going to do the Olympia this year. He's dropping out. You look at guys like Big Rami, you look at
Right.
guys like Derek Lungford, you look at Heidi Chopin, you look at Samson Dewar. Those guys can like that's why I created men's classic because they felt like they wanted to pull it in and wanted the vision to go back. Even the guys like Chris Bumstead, you look at him, he could maybe do 212, but I think he's more dialed in for men's classic.
Oh, I don't think
Uh,
he could do 212. He'd stand way out.
yeah, yeah. We have a
Yeah.
comment from a
Well,
man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say with genetics, yeah, they still have to work hard too, though. Like even if you're genetically gifted, you still got to work your ass off. Like that's the good thing about bodybuilding is like everybody who steps on stage, everybody's earned that spot. They're not there just because they're genetically blessed. Like you got to earn it.
Yeah, but it does often helps
Yeah.
with genetics. So we got
Yeah.
here my man Stefan Prey. Shout out to Stefan says, do you plan to stay in Physique? So as you know, you say you moved up. So are you going to be planning? Because there's just a few more shows left for the season, but this be for qualification for next year. Are you thinking about maybe competing for next year's Olympic qualification, or just take the time to grow?
Um, yes, I plan on staying in physique. I think that's what he asked. Yes, 100%. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I am done for the season. I'm taking 6 months to grow. I was gonna do legions. But I got off stage and talked to my coach, and he's like, Chelsea, you've been prep since November. It's mentally, and I've been through a lot this year, so it was time to pull back and like dial it in. And going from figure and then 3 months later hitting physique and getting top 10 in masters, I was like, I'm happy. Like we just need to fine tune some things now. I mean, realistically, I've been in figure for 8, 9, 10 years, so we gotta grow a little. We gotta get wider lats. The legs gotta get a little bit bigger so I can have more of a X frame. We gotta work on the delts, the triceps, biceps. So there is just some growth coming up, but I am staying in physique for sure. For sure,
Mhm.
100%. I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Here's this from my man Lawrence Perkins. Shout out to him. Lawrence coming through. He says, "Good evening, Chelsea, George, and everyone in the chat." Thank you, Lawrence. Good evening to you, brother. So, folks, we're gonna do this. We're gonna jump into Chelsea's social media. You want to follow her? Her links in the description. Check her out. She's also, so again, she's a coach. So, if you're someone who's not a competitor, maybe just wants some lifestyle changes, reach out to her. I mean, I know I need to do more for myself, but you know what? I'm kind of curmudgeon. I'm set my ways sometimes, but I'm getting a little better at it. So, folks, we're going to jump into our social media for a bit. And here she is. And I see there is right here, ignite your fitness journey. So when did you start becoming a coach?
A year ago, I really honed in on it and decided, you know what, I've been training forever, but I decided a year ago I wanted to start coaching, and um, it's just blown up ever since then. It's been amazing. I have people all across the US. I do mostly online coaching. I do some in-person training if you're in Idaho, at Boise Iron Gym, but I have people all across the US, the UK, New Zealand, Australia. So it's been amazing.
Mhm. And also, this is some pictures you took with Sean Nelson. I interviewed Sean a while back. He's a great guy. He does great photo work with some of you ladies. And this was right after the Arizona Pro. He did Photoshop.
This was actually the day before we took these photos. I was blessed to be the very first one out. So it was a 7 a.m. On a Friday. And I was like, I'm so happy I got the first spot because Arizona's hot. Hot, hot. I was already sweating and I didn't want to you don't want to be out in the heat right before a show because then you hold water.
Yeah, especially if you be lucky you didn't have your tanning on, because that'd be the worst. You'd be like looking like you're melting. You're like, and also to say again, your other job is dental hygienist. When you started that, and how long you been doing it?
20 years. I've been in the dental field since I was 21, which is crazy. I'm cutting back my hours though. I only work Monday through Wednesday starting October, in the office so I can spend more time with my clients.
Yeah. And here's this.
But
This
yeah,
is
I've been
right
doing it
here.
forever.
Yeah, I know another lady who's also dental hygienist. That's Sherry Piami. If you know that, she does that for quite a time. It's like you try. I know one thing is the people you work with. Do they ever come to your shows? Do they ever give you feedback on what they see when you compete?
So when I was a amateur and I got to do a local show, they did come and watch, but they all support me. They watch me go through it day in and day out and say no to the crumble cookies and all the junk that comes into an office, which is crazy. But yeah, they're super supportive. My coworkers are amazing. Honestly, like I think they've probably stopped me before from like picking at food or I do feel bad for him sometimes though, because when I get in those moods, like everybody has their prep moods, and I'm just quiet and like try not to be a jerk. But there's been moments. One of the doctors came up to me one day during prep, and he was like, "I miss carb Chelsea," and I was like, "I miss carb Chelsea too."
And it's good to have that support because you know what, this is a tough
Yeah,
sport, especially for a woman. This is a sport that can really take
yeah,
a lot, mentally, physically, financially, because compared to the men's divisions, they all got to wear is pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. But you ladies have to look presentable, look very feminine. It's just so much expense to the sport.
yeah. And that's the blessing about having sponsors is, I have a suit sponsor, Vicky Ross. She made my suit. I told her just you pick. I don't care. You pick. You're the expert. So that's the nice thing. I have sponsors. I have help. I have great companies behind me. So I don't think I could do it without their support. To be honest, it's like you need a village. You need everybody backing you up, and you need people to lean on because there's moments in prep where you're like, gosh, I feel like you second guess things and the the first time I ever just gave over all my stress to my coach and said, you know what, I pay you to teach me and to get me there, I'm just gonna go for it. And yeah, it's expensive, but I think that's my number one thing I tell new competitors too that come to me. Like, if you're not financially ready for this, you need to get financially ready because it's expensive. Like, it's not what do they say? It's not a poor man's sport.
Yes, well, I know from people telling me that, yeah, it is a poor man's sport because the fact is, compared to any other sport where you can make a living off of it, where you have, benefits, like if something happens, you have life insurance, health insurance. Bodybuilding don't have all those
Yeah.
benefits. Only it has those good health benefits in the long run, but it's like I said, it's a extreme sport. And most people will never understand what it takes to get to the levels what you men and women do. I mean, to say the quote is I often like to quote this from Ronnie Coleman says, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one wants to lift a heavy ass weight. You know. This
Yeah.
is from,
That's
yeah, yeah. This is from my man Russ G. Russ G also does photography, and he's a great guy. He's here. He's next door at South Carolina. He says, "Howdy, howdy there, Russ." Also, this is from your boy
howdy.
Adam. He says this. He says, "Do I have good genetics?" So yeah, good. Yes, you
Yes, you
coach.
do. Stop. You do. You do. Stop it.
Yeah, you're like his.
Yes,
You're
he
like
has good genetics.
you're like his Mick to his Rocky. Like say yeah. You're gonna fall down sometimes, Rocky. And you hear a little injury your shoulder. You say, "Yep, you son of a bitch. Chelsea loves ya." I'd say this is also this is from a man, Lawrence Perkins. Shout out to Lawrence. He says, "Keep up the great work, Miss Chelsea. You inspire others around the world." Yeah, and also it's from a man,
Aw,
KL. He says, "Nice glutes,"
yep.
and also,
Those took years to grow, so thank you.
yeah, and also the art of warrior and champion. That's from my man Lawrence Perkins. Yeah. So at the Arizona Pro, what do the judges tell you? The critiques to give you? Because often I know like competitors ask the critiques and see what you need to improve, what you need to work on. What was their assessment of you?
I didn't ask. I never ask. I never ask the judges, and the reason is I'm usually hungry and I want to go eat. So I just don't say. And so I just follow with what my coach wants, what my coach says. I mean, you could ask a judge. I asked Steve DeVore when I was in the other ones because I had time. I just was like, I want to go eat. I don't want to wait. But I didn't ask. So I just follow with what my coach says because actually the crappy thing is sometimes you can go to one show and a judge will say something and you change that and then you go to another show and that judge says another thing that you already had and they told you to change it. So it's just subjective. Like you just got to show up your best, and that's all you can do. You show up your best and you hope they like your look that day and someone else didn't show up to beat you, you know? It's never, that's the thing with bodybuilding. You can just never know. You just got to go and show up your best. People always like look up other competitors and try to compare themselves, and realistically, like you can compare yourself all you want, but it's not up to you. It's up to the judge. The judge is
Mm.
going to say yay or nay that day, you know? You could have the look they want or not. And it just, that's the tough thing about it. You got to take that out of it, because a lot of people get really upset when they don't win, you know? And it's like, did you show up better than you showed up last time? Do you feel better? Are you happy with your performance? Those are the things that count right there. Um, you know, you can't,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't ask the judges for a lot of reasons, but I wanted to go eat was probably the number one. I was hungry.
Yeah, I think often the judges' critiques are sometimes subjective. Most competitors will ask. I think I only heard one person say she doesn't ask. That's Anna Harris. She said she never asked the judges. And then you always want to feel like you come in your best shape. Like one thing is what's the thing you feel like you need to work on the most, and what's your feel like your best quality physically?
So the thing I need to work on the most is always conditioning. It's always conditioning of my glutes and hamstrings. For some reason, I can never get them conditioned enough. So we're gonna start leaner this year and try to just go in, you know, get in harder, I guess. Like just get more conditioned, more cardio. It is what it is. And then my best quality is definitely my back. My back is rocking all the time. Even in off season, I get to have cuts and giant muscles back there. So, but back day, I mean, I love lifting back. Like I can do pull-ups like crazy, and that's definitely my best quality is my back. Now, other people would say other things, but what I think is my back.
Yeah, I've often heard this that the back can make or break how you place at a show. You know, some competitors can look good
Hmm.
from the front, but then if the back's not all together, then you just maybe not place as well. Just to be a complete athlete, you have to work on everything. You know,
Yeah.
and what's your when you're working out? What's your least and favorite workout when you're training?
My least probably, hmm, least biceps. Ugh. I hate doing biceps. And the reason is I do I mean, I like them. And if I had to pick a worse exercise, it's biceps. And there's a lot of reasons. They get so swollen that like then I go to like later on that night, like I can't wash my hair that day if I do biceps because my forearms cramp up, and like I just I don't love biceps. I mean, they're big, they're there, and I do them. But I would say my favorite is leg day, like by far. I just feel like I get the most. I love lifting back, and back is obviously my favorite body part, but leg day is my favorite because I feel like I just get the most volume. I get the hardest workout. I feel like I can push myself farther. And everybody wants, I don't know about everybody, but most women want big legs and big butt, and that's what I'm going for too.
You want big legs? You might always do wellness. If you want big legs, big butt, but that's a
Yeah,
totally different
I mean,
division.
I think wellness is gorgeous. If I could fit in the wellness category, I'd do it. But I can't.
Because
I
like I
mean,
say,
I'd
you're
have to.
tall. Yeah, because you're kind of tall. So I think it's like harder for the
Yeah,
taller women because your legs are more
yeah.
longer. I have a friend of mine. She's doing her second wellness show. She actually competed in Physique bodybuilding. She's going to do the UK show, and she's going to do her second wellness show. She's kind of tall, and I think those aesthetics are more for women who are shorter. That's why some of the Brazilian competitors do so well. They have strong,
Yeah.
thicker leg, thighs, and hips. You have so many divisions that work with some women with certain details. I think with figures more taller, leaner women, bikini are more petite girls, physiques are more athletic, and bodybuilding for women's bodybuilding is more for the women who get bigger. And you have fitness. That's pretty much kind of boys between bikini and physique in a way. If you look at it, it's probably one of the toughest divisions. Um,
Yeah.
here we got a comment. This is from your man Adam. He says this. He says, it says, show your clients work, coach. And shout out to him. Also, this is my man Russ G. He says, same thing with photography. Death not a poor man's sport or hobby. Yeah. And also
Definitely
from my
not.
man, yeah. This is from man KL. He says, I could never be a bodybuilder being broke. Yeah, it is tough. It is a expense because
Yeah.
and it's a good thing you have sponsorship because that's one thing that
Mhm.
helps a lot of competitors. I know it covers the cost of, like I said again, your travel, your suits, other things that come that you need doing prep or going to the shows because most people don't have that because you got to think about it. So again, it's an expensive sport, and even if you do win in the show, what's $2,000-3,000? That's not much.
Right.
That's pretty much you just really just mostly. This is I remember this is from my favorite movie. It's the Incredibles, where Bob's boss told him it's your job to keep us in the black, but if we get into the red, it's just going to be a struggle. And that's why I think this is job. This is why I say this. I think it should be more benefits for you competitors, especially when you hit the IFBB level. You know.
Right. Well, I'll probably do, now don't quote me, I'll probably do Texas Pro next year because top 10 competitors got paid because Sarah fought hard to get Physique women some more money. And then Arizona, like the Rising Phoenix, they paid pretty well too for their top athletes. So I think it's I think it's starting to evolve more. I mean, people are putting their voices out there and they want to be heard, and they're fighting for the division really. So I think it's kind of cool. I'll do those big shows. Like I think honestly, I know my coach wants me to start like because I'm a newbie in the pro level, and so he wants me to start, at the beginning of the shows where it's less competitive. But doing the Rising Phoenix, the Arizona Pro, and being amongst all of those amazing athletes really lit a fire underneath me. Like being there and being with them and making, having conversations with them and getting to know their personalities and being like, you know what, I'm gonna do these big shows from now on. It's more motivating. It's exciting. It's more competitive. You know what I mean? Like to go into like I mean, I'm not saying anything about the earlier shows. Like they're competitive too, but the bigger shows I think is where it's at. Like if I'm in the pro league, I might as well do the big shows.
Yeah, it's that old saying like
In
my
my
other like
opinion.
say, yeah, it's that one saying my other guy like say like what doesn't make you stranger makes you stronger. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, and
Well, we're all strange.
yeah, I know I'm strange, and it's good like that y'all women have a show like the Arizona Pro. Where has Phoenix says it's no, it's created by a man whom I'm a fan of, Mr. Jake Wood. I got to do this entire 16. Yo, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. I just can't help it. Anytime I don't know a lot of guys named Jake, and shows like the Triple O Dynasty with Andrea, Sid, and Whitney, and
Oh,
Natalia. They stepping up because one show that was probably I think a lot of people are not too much a fan of. I like his movies. It's Arnold. How he pushed out the women, and now he's just they left his fitness and the teenage divisions. It's just I can understand. Yeah, it's one of the top shows around, but if you're not included into that show, what's the point of it anymore? It's just I understand because he's shooting at the prize money to 5,000 for the men, but you can't say that it was the reason why you dropped women's bodybuilding and figure and physique because there wasn't money. You get the money, but you just don't want to give these women the fair shot like any other competitor.
I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. I really want to do the triple O, but it's just too early in the season for me. But I don't know. Like if you look at the Arnold, like I don't honestly agree with them dropping all the other, women's physique, women's bodybuilding, women's figure. But realistically, they have three men's categories, so they have three women's categories. I think in the business aspect of it, they're trying to make things fair, right? And those three women's categories are probably the ones that bring in the most money. So if it's a business, which it's a business, they're gonna think logically like that. So I don't take offense to it. Hopefully someday they bring it back and they open up all the divisions for the women, but they got three for men, three for women. So I think in a fair stance, yeah, it sucks that us big girls don't get to do it, but meh, whatever. Maybe I'll have a competitor in it someday, so I'll get to be there.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, I understand it's a business part of it, but as a fan, I think y'all ladies get the short end of the stick, especially when I've talked with you ladies. Y'all work just as hard, you put in just as much time as the men do, and I think you should get just as much respect and recognition. But bodybuilding is that
Yep.
sport where everybody points the finger at it because the fact is, it's always talking about steroids, but steroids is only a small factor to it. You have to be
Right.
consistent, follow your diet, be regimental. It's so easy to pick on bodybuilding where there's performance enhancers in every sport. Like I do content on MMA where I've seen boxers, MMA fighters get busted on it. It's so subjective when people talk about bodybuilding, but then you turn a blind eye. We catch somebody like Jose Canseco or any of these baseball players who busted for taking performance enhancers.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a comment here from a man,
Yeah.
your man Lawrence. He says this. He says, shout out to Lawrence. He says, "You have be your own competition." Well said by Chelsea. Thank you, brother. Also,
Hi.
yeah. Also, we got a lot of these guys here. Also, this is from our man Russ G. Shout out to Russ coming through. He says, "Sending you flowers, face functional flowers shape." He's sending you flowers,
Fuchsia.
so appreciate. Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, using fancy words, Russ. All right, Russ is also he's a photographer. He's been on my show before. Also, this is from a man, KL the Wanderer. He says, "This is. Would you still watch the All Classic if you don't participate in it?" So, have you watched it?
Still do. Yep. I do. I do. I go pretty much every year too.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard some people. Some people said that now you have things like slap fights. I know the strip pole thing is
Yeah.
a very popular thing. Some
Yeah.
people say like it's not really bodybuilding if you have that stuff, but don't have women's bodybuilding.
Yeah. I mean, I go every year 'cause my best friend's a professional strong woman, and she usually competes in it, and so I go with her. So, which strong women are fun to. I mean, that strongman sport is so fun to watch. So, I go every year, and then it's fun to be in the expo around everybody. And yeah, I still watch it. I'm still gonna watch it. I mean, if they pull something out of Olympia, I'd still watch it. It's my sport.
Yeah. We have issues right here. She's going in and out. I think I can hear her, but I think it's we have to get straight. I don't know what's going on. Technology, folks. We get here from your man Adam. He says, pull it up. He says, any comments on Brazil just did in men's wellness?
What?
They just people were when they started posting this. I mean, I saw somebody post and say, "Hey, George, look at this." I said, "What is that?" I said, "They're doing topless women's bodybuilding." I said, "No, that's a dude." I said, "What?" I mean, it's crazy. People are so worried they'll come here, but the thing is, it's not. As long as you have the Manions and them, they're not going to come here. It's going to be in Brazil, stay in Brazil. It's not getting popular enough, but the thing is, you never know. Money talks and bullshit walks.
I didn't even see it so at all.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say. Also, this is from my man KL. He says this. He says, stigma is there with bodybuilding instead of the other sports. Yeah, there's always going to be stigma with it. So, like I said again, you said after the show you were hungry, you were starving. What was that thing, Chelsea, that you wanted the most? That thing that was calling your name after you got off that stage? That thing that just you were craving.
Just I actually like what I eat, so I just wanted more volume. So I only went to hibachi. So I pretty much ate the same thing. I had rice and steak and stuff like that. I mean, if I go and have a cheat meal, it's usually sushi, a burger with potato fries, or steak and potato. I don't go far from what I eat. And I don't have a lot of food noise. I don't have a lot of cravings because I just live the lifestyle. Like even in Boston, I eat the same things I eat in France. Like I don't change it. I like what I eat. I cook and I like my cooking.
Uh-oh. Just lost it, folks. We'll give her a minute and let her come back. I had this guy on here. I had to time out. Had issues with here. We'll wait. We'll give her a few minutes and we'll see if she come back. I don't know. I think sometimes I have this problem, especially when we do shows. Like if they're mountain shows, like she's in Idaho, so that's only there she is. There she is. All right, folks. Wait, she just popped up. She's popped up. I was just waiting. Well, she's in, but hello. Okay, welcome back. Can you hear me? Hello, Chelsea. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey, all righty. Welcome back. So, like I said, I don't know. Me, I grew up. We eat fish, but not cold fish. I don't know if I want that, but yeah, I think everybody has what they love the most, especially out of competition. Especially food is one of the most important parts about being a bodybuilder. It helps you grow, develop, And also, we were talking earlier. You have a son, and when he's home with you, do you cook for him separately, or you cook for yourself?
So, I cook. Um, yeah, that's on the weekends. I cook all of like usually on Sundays I prepare all of my food. He is actually pretty spoiled, and I make him meals for the week too. So we both like he gets breakfast burritos for school that he takes to school. And then he has his own stuff like at nighttime, but I don't usually sit down and cook meals anymore. Like I don't cook like big dinners. He actually asked me if his girlfriend could come over in the morning, tomorrow morning, for breakfast, and I could make him breakfast. And I was like, "What time?" And he, so I think she's gonna come over if he's not sick, and I'll make them something that I won't eat, but they'll eat it. So yeah, I
So
am kind of a shorter cook in a way. Like I'll make his food, but I don't eat it.
yeah. So his woman come over, and you gotta feed the woman. Hey, boy, get your own house, feed your own woman. That's I didn't do that when I lived with my mama. I've been with my mama for almost 30 years. But yeah, it's good that he supports you and he loves you. I mean, and that thing is about it's hard, especially when you get into sport. Because some people, like I said again, it's good that you have friends and people that support you because you know what, people don't understand this sport. I talk to ladies where they say that sometimes their family just like wondering why you got into it, why are you doing this. The parents would say, "Sweetheart, we don't want you to get too manly and muscular," you know. And it's this is the tough thing about this, that it's hard to make people understand anything about bodybuilding.
That's true. Actually, when I first started, my mom did not like it because she was like, "You're so skinny," and I'm like, "No, I'm lean. There's a difference." And I will say, I don't, I don't necessarily know if my son loves it, but he supports me. He does say I get grumpy because he's always like, "When you're in prep, you're so grumpy," and I'm like, "I'm not. I'm not that bad." But he loves it when I'm not in prep. Like he picked me up from the airport when I got home, and I was like, "You want to go get a burger?" And he's like, "Yes." So you're done, and I was like, "Yeah." And he always asked me like, "Are you done? Are you done this time?" And I'm like, "Gage, just know that I'm never probably going to be done. Like I'm probably going to continue this lifestyle. I don't think I'll always do the stage, but definitely for the next couple years I will be because I have some goals. So till
Yeah, it's good
then,
having
until I meet those goals, I'm not going to stop."
Yeah, it's good to have goals because this sport is very, like I said, it's a tough sport. I said again, and often it motivates you, like gets you into other things. Like you said, you're coaching right now. Maybe when your coach business get
Mhm.
really pulls up, then you can get out of your other job. And and I said again, I think there should be more benefits to it other than just okay, I get bigger, get healthier, yeah, yeah. But anything, I think y'all men and women deserve more opportunities as no one knows. Oh, like we think about bodybuilding, you think about two people. We think of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk and the Terminator. Most people don't know people
Yeah.
like Andre Starr or Sid Gillen or maybe I think the one person that I think really get a lot of attention is Chris Bumstead. He has that look to him. But you know what? If this was like any
Yeah.
mainstream sport, this could be a great career. You don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. If it was more of a mainstream sport, it could. But like I think what you can take away from it is the fact that like it creates a good structured routine for your life. Like I get up, I get my things done, you know what I mean? I have this good routine. I keep going. And I would say as an athlete, like I think that's something that I've always done, you know. With bodybuilding, it's a lot about mental game. You learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about how to deal with hardships, how to deal with being, you know, judged. Basically, you're being judged on a regular basis. But mentally, it's once you start fine tuning that mindset and the mental part of it, it teaches you a lot, and you can navigate that into other parts of your life too. So I know, like, everybody says you guys should get more, you should get more, but like, what do we get out of it? Like, long term, I'm probably going to be more mentally sound and sane and healthy than most people because I've gone through this. So I feel like that's a win. Like, I feel like that's something I've gotten out of it. Why not accept that as something like money's only money, like you don't get to take it with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, life is precious. You should live where you like to live. Live your best life. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's just the thing is about the sport. I said again, as a fan, somebody who's watching sport for a long time, I've seen it grow and evolve. I've seen how people have come and go, and you have to really have a passion for it when you get into it. You have to understand that this is not going to be a sport that, unless you're the few lucky ones, you get a lot of wealth out of it. And you have to love what you do. You have to love being on, because people, when we see outside, when we're looking at you on the stage, we see y'all presenting these awesome bodies. Your physiques look wow, but then we don't understand that you're up there, you're hungry, you're dehydrated, you're tired. There's so much to this that's involved as a competitor. And, we have to respect that about y'all. And I think more people who are more respectful for you ladies and men who compete in this sport, because I know I've talked to ladies said sometimes people make comments like, yeah, she's trying to be manny, she's trying to be that, she's trying to be that. No, she's an athlete.
Yeah.
You're an athlete and you love the sport you're in.
Yeah.
And it's the same people who don't have that same determination or that will or that discipline. It's so easy to pick on you instead of say, hey, look at yourself, say, hey, I need to have that same mindset.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing is a lot of people don't realize that you don't stay like that. Like, the times that I get the worst comments are when I'm super duper lean. They're like, oh, your face is manly. And I'm like, I'm fucking lean, sorry. But 6 months of dieting and 6 months of training, like, that's how long a normal prep is 6 months. And so people don't understand that it's taken me 6 months to get this way. And in 2 weeks, I'll have fat back in my face. So I don't really actually, I like the haters. It cracks me up. It makes me laugh because realistically, they have time in their day to hate on me. I don't have time. I don't care. I have too much going on. I don't have time for you, but keep hating because that means you're watching. Like, in a way, it's a support that you can use. The funniest part is when people hate on me and someone else goes to bat for me. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, to have people be like I've had like clients jump in or friends jump in and like give them a hard time, and it I just don't have time to deal with it. Like, they have time to sit on their computer and hate. By all means, do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like this is one of my favorite characters from Chappelle's show. He's Sippy Johnson, play hater his. Let them hate till they can't hate no more. And the thing is about haters, they hate so much, but we care so little. That's the thing is, if you have that time to put the energy to hate, you should put it in something else. And that's sad that that's all you have. We have here. This is from your man J.K. Fit. I think this is from his wife. I think it's their wife. Um, it says,
It's
it's
Elena.
Elena. I'm here with Adam.
uh,
Smile.
that is one of my thank you, Elena. So that's another one of my competitors. They must be at the gym right now. She is actually a women's bodybuilder. We're going for her pro card this year. She's gonna get it. Man, her legs, her fucking are so big. Like, I love it. I love working out with her. She's staying strong. But yeah, she's getting it this year, I'm sure of it. Like, women's bodybuilding, she's amazing. She goes by Here Comes She-Hulk on Instagram.
Well, I'll check her out
Yeah,
because, like I said, I
it's
always,
her license plate on her car says She-Hulk too, which is super cool.
yeah, this is how I feel like when I look at some of the girls' tags on IG or on social media, it's either She-Hulk or Barbie. I just interviewed a young lady a couple of days. She's a figure, she's a figure competitor, and she's a vegan. She goes by herself. She calls herself Savage Vegan Barbie. I know a lady named another Savage Barbie. There's Buff Barbie. There's Cuban Barbie. Barbie's one of the most popular ones. There's also the She-Hulks because usually I think it's more with the bodybuilders they
Yeah.
do the She-Hulks than I think Physique and Figure and the other girls do Barbie.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Barbie ones. It cracks me up because I don't. So growing up, I didn't. I'm probably the weirdest girl ever. I don't like dolls. They freak me out. Um, Something about a lifelike doll. I just they gross me out. I don't like dolls. They freak me out. My sister actually collects dolls. She has a room in her house, and I love you, sister. I love you, but that room gives me anxiety. I walk into that room and I'm like, oh, they're all looking at me. But yeah,
Well, I have three older sisters. Well, one of my sisters passed away, and they were much older than I. They didn't have too many dolls. They like to read those little novel books. With Barbie on the cover.
yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody has what things they like and things that kind of not they like. We have here. This is a comment from a man, KL. He says, She-Hulk smash. And also he says this. Also,
Yeah.
yeah, this is another a lot of ones like these. They also
Oh,
do Wonder Woman. And I know
they
of
do. Yeah, they do
yeah,
Wonder Woman. That's true.
yeah, Wonder Woman, that's a pop. I think what's her name? She's the poser, Rachel Daniels. She goes by the real Lois Lane. And I know they have interview out there.
Oh
Her name is
yeah.
Brittany. Yeah, Brittany. She went by the real Wonder Woman. It's. I think y'all ladies, for fans, we see y'all like comic images. We see you look at some of the pages of Marvel or DC, and the sad thing that even in those movies, they don't really use muscular women. I have a friend of mine. She was offered opportunity to do a comic, but they didn't work out because Hollywood has this stereotype. They want the women to look feminine, but also they want too much muscle. It just you try to walk a fine line.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had people comment like, oh, I want to look like you, but I don't want to do all the work. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, you're never gonna get there by not doing any work. But I don't know. I prefer the muscle. I think muscle is beautiful. In my opinion, men, women, anyone who has muscles, I think it's beautiful because you look at that person and you're like, that shows some dedication, that shows some discipline. That person puts in time and hard work. It's a very attractive thing. You walk into a room and be like the most fit person in that room, you get respect. Even if they don't like, they're not like, even if they talk smack behind your back or whatever, their jealousy comments or whatever, you walk into a room and you have muscle and you look great, you get respect. And I will say, I've gotten jobs before because they're like, whoa, like you're dedicated, you're disciplined, we want you. I'm like, okay.
That's good. That's good to have support. So, folks, we're not going to hold her much too longer. She's been a busy woman. She worked, trained, this, that. We do appreciate time she gives us here to talk with us. We hope
Yeah.
we see her next year, whichever shows. One show they don't have women's physique anymore is the St. Louis Pro. They cut it out because only five competitors. I know the lady who won that show. I interviewed her, Marika Jones, and we have Texas Pro. Shout out to Sarah Vilgas stepping up and doing what she do for a division. I know I
Yep.
saw Zella Benta. She looks impressive. I mean, wow, she was. I
Yeah.
watched that live stream. She was
Amazing.
just yeah. I mean, she could be a threat. I just it's crazy. Um, this is from a man KL. He says this. He says, um, muscles on women can be attractive and least attractive. It's also depending on the woman. Some women look pretty good with it. Some women, it's all especially because like I had a friend told me like this: guys can take the same shit I take, but if they don't follow the regimen and diet and what I do, you're not gonna look like me. And that's the big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's the
we
huge difference. You still have to do the work.
Yeah, but it's sometimes not really do the work. They're like a lot of these young competitors. They want everything quick, fast, and in a hurry. They want hot and fresh, but it never works like that. If you're not, committed to working, to taking the time, to be dedicated, to be motivated and disciplined, then you're not going to get those rewards from that work. It's just you just
No.
can't do everything half-ass.
No, and that's what I mean, I get a new client in and I tell them all the time, like, you won't see results for 3 months. Just be realistic with people. Like you got to put the time in. I mean, I even had a lady come to me and she's with me for 1 month and she's a trainer herself and she was getting frustrated. And I was like, just as well as I do, there's no magic that's going to happen in 4 weeks. And she's like, you're right. I needed to hear that. But it's just, people need realistic goals, and sometimes coaches come in today, and I'm not saying all, or trainers or anyone, but like sometimes they feed unrealistic thoughts to these people, like, oh, you could do this, and I don't roll like that. Like if somebody comes to me and like, I wanna be a figure competitor, and I'm like, well, you have 3 years of growing, like you're not, like there's just realistic, and everybody wants to do wellness, but they think that they just need to have big legs. By the time you cut someone down, they're bikini. Like it is what it is. And if you can't be realistic with your clients and you feed them BS, then that's when people get mental about things, like they get their heads full, and then they go on stage and they get obliterated, and they're like, but you said, and it's like, well, just be realistic with people.
Well, like I said, yeah, because you know what? It's not for everybody. Everybody's bodies are different, how they grow, how to develop. And this is what often somebody says you have to trust the process, but you don't really have to trust. You have to understand the process. And once you understand it
Yeah.
fully, then you can trust it. Sometimes you just don't go in something blindly without knowing what you're getting involved into. Here you got your
No,
thing
for
from,
real. I agree.
yeah, you got a thing for your boy Adam. He shout out to Adam. Thank you for coming through, brother. He says, see you guys. It was nice chatting with you, your brother. I appreciate it, brother. And if you ever want to come on, like I said, I have interviewed guys before, not as often because this channel is dedicated to ladies. And I remember this old song, Show Looks Always, it's the 80s, I'm down with the ladies. No, it may not be the 80s, but I'm down with the ladies. And and if your wife ever wants to come on, she's a welcome guest because I like to give the people opportunity to share their stories. Like I said, I've been a fan of this sport for a long time, and also
Yeah.
I have one crime. I'm a muscle person, I admit that. But I really respect what y'all ladies do. And I really get an education from each of my interviews where I learn about what it takes, what got you into it, why you love the sport, even though you don't get that same love back. And that's why I reach out to people like yourself who have a passion, who have interest, who has their foot on the ground, 10 toes down. And I always say like this: sponsorships, you already got sponsors, but it never hurts to have a few more. Because like I said, the cost of sport is expensive. Your posing suit's right there. That's your rent, that's your car note, that's your mortgage, the loan, everything else involved with it, food and eating, and there's so much to this. But I gotta respect what y'all ladies do. And I think if people don't understand
Thank you.
the best way, this to say, if people don't understand you, and this is the best way my man Bernie Mac say, fuck them. That's it. Yeah.
That's
So
right.
one last question.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So one question: what would you want out of the sport as a whole at the end of the day?
What do I want out of the sport?
Yeah.
For myself, or for like a
For
general,
yourself.
like,
For yourself. General, for yourself, whatever.
what do I want out of the sport? Well, I mean, to be realistic, the big goal is the O, right? We all want to step on that stage. But what do I want? That's a good question. I think you stumped me a little bit. So what I want out of the sport in general for people is, I mean, I want everyone to try it at least once. Like, I want someone to say, like, if you're gonna hate on bodybuilders, get on the stage, try it out, see if you can actually do it. But I mean, I would just like everyone to be part of the community, to be realistic. Like, there is a ton of positive and awesome people around and in the community, and like outside of the community, supporting bodybuilders like yourself, um just don't focus on the negative, like stay away from that. Stay with the positive people. um I would like to see, I would like to see more men in it. Like, I know there's a ton of men, like there's a ton of men, but like maybe even another division for men. Like, because we have six, women have six divisions, men have three, right? So they
Four.
only fit in three boxes. Four. What's the fourth
Yeah.
one?
Two. You have men's open, 212, classic, and men's physique.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, but I meant like there's physique, classic, or bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess 212. I forget about 212. I shouldn't
Yeah.
forget about 212. One of my friends is a 212 pro. My bad.
Mm,
My bad,
yeah.
Anthony. My bad.
See, this is why this is one of my things, one of my monikers. Like my master Ra's al Ghul taught me: beware surrounds all time, young Master Wayne. Never give up sure footing for a killing blow. Yeah. But I think with the women,
Yeah.
women have so many different body types, and that's why you have divisions like women's bodybuilding, you have physique, you have fitness, you have figure, you have bikini, you have wellness. You have girls who are not big enough to be figure or don't have the conditioning for that division. You have girls who might be too big or too small for bikini or too small for figure. You have girls who might be they're too big for figure but not big enough for women's bodybuilding, and it's just that's why women have different body types compared to men. Men we're just basically shaped like
Yeah.
we just this. We're just if you carve me up, I could probably look like a guy in men's physique because I got this all here. I got this out of the way. But y'all women have different body types,
The
different
best,
physique. Yeah.
I agree. The best thing about men though is like I can take a man as a competitor, any size, cut him down, gonna do well, right? Next year he's gonna grow, cut him down, he's gonna look good, he's gonna cut fine. That's the best thing about men is like you can literally take like, okay, I'm gonna take you, pull this food, do this cardio, maybe take a little bit of this, and you're good, right? Every woman has a different, every prep is different because our hormones change and we have all of these crazy things. So that's why I make all of my competitors do blood work because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen, and you gotta keep them on their toes. But I agree, there's so many different women body types, but I mean there's different men body types too, but they're just you could tell him to stop drinking soda and he'll drop 20 pounds, right? It's insane. A woman stops drinking soda, maybe she loses two. it's,
Yeah, because I
it's
know
insane.
before my mom passed, I was almost 500 pounds. And I stopped drinking
Oh,
sodas. I cut back on. I still like to eat my sweets. I just ate a couple of fig Newtons early this afternoon, and I had a burger. But
there's sugar-free sweets everywhere.
I, I tried them and just like, yeah, yes, that's just me. But yeah, because I think because our purpose in life is, instead again, men are built to battle, build, and to breed, and we are different set. We can lose weight faster, put more muscle on faster. But y'all women are more softer. You have more of how BMI. I do content on MMA. It's harder for women to cut weight in mixed martial arts compared to men, because you can even
Yeah.
store extra fat in other areas compared to men. We
Hmm.
just have a higher metabolism. It's just so that's why it's so hard. It's so harder for women to lose weight compared to men. Um, Here, this is from my man KL. He says, shout to KL says, good luck with you. Also, and he says this, he says, you can mold me. I'm joking. No, you're not. No,
You
you're
can
not.
you can pay me and I'll mold you. That's how that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. Like we have conversations say, yeah, fuck you, pay me. So yeah. But yeah. But like I
You
said,
want you want to sign up?
huh?
That's how that works. It's all business.
Yeah, business. Yeah, you gotta, it's a business, man. She gotta make money. She gotta, that helps her family, her, and everything else. Come on, man. This is a money
Yeah.
sport, man. It's about money. So we
I'm
do.
not I'm not against giving advice for free. I tell people that all the time. Text me, I'll give you advice. I'm not against giving advice for free, but you know, I'm not going to take on a competitor for free unless I really truly believe in them.
Well, like my other guy like to say,
Hey.
if you're good at something, never do it for free. Oh, Chelsea, before I let you go, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful.
What? Thank you.
I,
Thank
I'm
you.
so that
I
I'm
get
so
that a
sorry
lot.
about you. I think women like that. Tell I'm a southern gentleman, man. We always got to tell you, ladies, that you are lovely. And I know there's some guys who don't think women with muscle are beautiful. There's some guys who are maybe a bit extreme when it comes to other ladies, but you're still a woman. We work hard. You're a mother. You take care of your business. Your clients love you. Like you said, Adam and his wife was here, and people got to remind that. It's still, even though you're a bodybuilder, you're not just a woman, but also you're an athlete. You're everything that encompasses you as a human being, and people need to understand that. Yeah. So
I
before I let you go,
appreciate
like I said, you don't have to appreciate. I do this because I enjoy giving y'all ladies the opportunity to share your stories to let people understand where you come from, who you are. So before I let you go, you want to give everybody a shout out?
Well, I yeah, I'd love to give all of my competitors and my clients a shout out. Like, thanks for giving me a chance and believing in me. And um, of course, my coach, Jason Theobald, he's been a blessing in my life. All the crap I've been going through, he guides me and cares. And then my training coach, Corey Linder, he's actually like probably my best friend. He actually gave me a place to live too. So he has been a blessing in my life, and I can't say enough great things about him. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and sometimes people take advantage of him, but he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's really big in the industry, which has been really nice to have him in my corner too.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that you
Yeah.
have your, that's like I said, it takes people, like I said, again, bodybuilding is individual sport, but it does take a community to help a bodybuilder develop and grow because, you need that support,
And there's one
you
more
know.
person, I won't say their name, but they know who they are, and they've been a big blessing in my life, and I'm super grateful for them. They know who they are though.
Well, you're out there. You have been a blessing. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, support. Appreciate it. Shout out to
Yeah.
you. And anybody, like I said, if you want to follow Chelsea, her social media links are in the description of this live stream. If you're interested in reaching out to her, maybe if you want to, if you're a competitor, maybe you want to work with her, or you're somebody who just want to maybe make some change in your life. Like I said again, you got to pay her. She don't do it for free. She's good what she's good at, but she don't do it for free. So,
Yeah.
ma'am, I appreciate the time you're giving me. I hope you best of luck to you, and hope to see you next year. And let's see, how 2025 does. Maybe you might even get to the Olympia Masters.
Okay.
Yeah. So wait, thank you. I'll
Well,
shout out to my man.
I have until August 17th to qualify.
Yeah, because I think they've got also you can put in application too if they like you, but it has to be like you haven't done enough. I think they're supposed to say, and they're probably you can apply for it too also, but you have to win. I think at 40
Yeah, you got to
plus.
apply before April
Yeah.
30th, I think.
Yeah, and you have to win also because I think Natalie Spurring, who won the 40 plus, she's already qualified, and I think a couple others who already won a 40 plus are qualified. And then if you win a 40 plus division at a show, if there's only a handful here, they're like Triple O, Tampa, Chicago, the World Master Championships, and a couple here and there. Well, like I said, yeah. But we
Yeah.
do wish you best of luck. I hope you do get that opportunity to go to Olympia. Tokyo is a long way to go. I see you got a little buddy
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, this is Freya. She's a I don't know if you can see her, but she's a staffy friend mix. She's my bestie. She's upset right
Aw,
now because I took away her toy. So
aw,
I took
children
away her
and
toy because she like, wants to play the entire time I'm on the computer. I've created a monster. It's my own fault.
well,
But yeah.
children and pets, they are needy. So we're gonna let you go so you can play with your little doggy and have some fun with him. I want to appreciate shout out to my man KLA coming through, Adam and his wife coming through, my man Russ G. Stefan Prey, everybody was here who watched this live stream, who support this channel. We appreciate the time you've given us. We wish you all the best in your future, Mrs. Rodgers. Mrs. Rodgers, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I had to do it. I
Yeah.
had to. Would you be mine? I used to love him. He was a great guy. Greatest guy to watch. So anyway, folks, thank you again for coming through. If you want to follow Chelsea, her social media description is live stream. Support her. Support these athletes in the sport of bodybuilding, and show respect. Because this is like I said, like Roddy Coleman says, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, and no one wants to lift his heavy ass weight. This is from my man, Russ G. He says, uh, "Thank you."
Thank you. Yeah. You're
All
welcome.
right.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, all right. So, folks, thank you for coming through. Tomorrow's Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Oh my God. I'm staying home. I'm not going nowhere.
Yes.
Not going nowhere. I look at everything I did yesterday.
I'm going everywhere.
Today, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving the house. Maybe I might stump my toes, something like that. I hope not that. So, anyway, folks, thank you for coming through. Appreciate your time. Wish you all the best. This is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Good evening, good morning, and good night.
Bye.